Hello everyone, wishing you all a very good morning. I hope all of you are fine, safe and healthy and happy. Okay, so we start today's class with the same old instructions. Keep your cameras off. Sit in a place where you get good network. If possible, try to see this class, Good Morning Karthik, on a laptop or on a TV screen. Project your mobile camera on a TV screen. Good morning, Pranay Goli. Nice DP, whatever you call it, whatever it is. And if you have to send any message, anything that you want to tell me, Tejasvi, don't send me on the personal ID of Astik Udenia because I won't be able to see it. If you have to send anything, send it on everyone to everyone, or send it good morning Yashwant to my Astik of Astik. Okay, so that is what it is. In today's class, before we start, we can have a look at the question paper that you had on the previous Sunday. It was a simple paper. I hope we did not have much problems with that. We'll just go through this question paper and see if there is anything that you could have done better. So here, as you can see, is the paper. Question number 1 seems to be very straightforward. An object is projected with a velocity of 100 meters per second. When will it strike the ground? So it will take 10 seconds to go up, 10 seconds to come down. The total time of flight is 20 seconds. Questions were pretty simple. That was question number 1. Question number 2, a stone is dropped from the top of a tower, touches the ground in 4 seconds. What is the height of the tower? Simple. The initial velocity is u. Acceleration due to gravity is g, which is minus 10, minus because it is going downwards. You know the time. S is equal to ut plus half, at square you can put. U is 0. You know the value of time. You know the value of g. You can get the value of height h. Right? Yes, that's one symbol. Third question is on similar lines. A body is released from the top of a tower of height h. It takes t seconds to reach ground. So from there you can find out t in terms of h. Where will be the ball after t by 2 seconds? It's very simple. To find it out from t by 2 seconds where it will be. Yes or no? You just have to find out h in terms of t from the first equation, and then you can substitute that t in the second equation and you will get the value 3 by h from ground. That is correct. That is simple. Here this question was given in feet per second square, but it must be feet per second square, maybe a typing mistake. A body falls from rest. The velocity at the end of first second, g is given 32 feet per second square, different units. That was the only thing. You know v is equal to u plus at. U is 0, so you can find out the value of at. It was pretty simple, correct? So as I can see, all of the question number 5, a stone thrown vertically upwards with a speed u from the top of a tower reaches the ground with a velocity of 3u. So when it is thrown up, it is u upwards. When it reaches ground, it is 3u downwards. You have to find the height of the tower. So v square minus u square is 2as. V square minus u square is 2as. You can apply that formula and get the answer to this one. Yes or no? Can I have some raise the answer? It's simple. You know the final velocity, you know the initial velocity, you are supposed to find out height, you should be able to find out height. It's pretty damn simple. Next question. 2 stones are different mass are dropped simultaneously. 2 stones of different masses are drop simultaneously from the top of a tower. I had given you that entire video on vacuum, a feather and a stone and a ball falling. They fall at the same time. We all know this, right? Again, a ball thrown with initial speed of 95 feet per second reaches the ground after how much seconds? So initial velocity is given. Initial velocity is given. The value of g is given. We have to find how much time it reaches. So it is thrown up with a velocity of 96 feet per second. Initial velocity u is given. You have to find the total time of flight. I suppose you all know how to find it out. Yes or no? It will take 3 seconds to go up. It will take 3 seconds to come down. Total time of flight is 6 seconds. A stone is dropped from a certain height, which can reach the ground in 5 seconds. If the stone is dropped after 3 seconds of its fall and then allowed to fall again. So after 3 seconds, you have to find out where it has reached. Then its initial velocity becomes 0 and then it again starts to fall. So you have to find from 0 to 3 how much it has moved, and then what is the remaining distance, how much time it will take to travel the remaining distance. That is how you have to do this. Yes or no? You understand this? Yes or no? Total time of flight, it goes from top to bottom is 5 seconds. So we have one equation. Then in 3 seconds, how much will it go? So you can find out this height. And then whatever height is remaining, it is again going to move. Initial velocity is 0. Height is known to you. You can find out how much time. You can find out the total time. And that is how you can do this question. Question number 9. A particle is dropped from gravity, from rest, from a height of h. It travels a distance of 9h by 25 in the last second. What is the value of h? It's very simple as well. H is given. You can find out how much time will it take to fall, total time. You also know how much, once you know the value of total time, it travels a distance of 9h by 25 in the last second. So you can find out the last second is tth second. You can put the formula for the nth second, put the values there, get the value of h. Yes or no? If you know the total time, let us say total time is 5 seconds. Let us say total time is 5 seconds. So you know how much it has moved in the 5th second. How much it has moved in the 5th second. So put the values in the 5th second and you will get the answer. Sometimes with using h, t, s, u, v might be confusing. So you can think of example. Okay, the height is h. Let me assume that it is 20 meters. So in the last second, how much will it fall? So let us assume that it takes total time 5 seconds. So I have to find out how much distance it moves in the 5th second. So then you can use some numbers in your imagination, and then when you are solving the question, instead of numbers, you start writing alphabets, and all of a sudden you will get your answers. Are you getting my point, everyone? This is how you imagine. If you get confused with h, t, you just imagine some values, and put that values into use. Am I clear? Can I have some raised hand that we understand this, sir? Imagine some values and you will be able to imagine the question very clearly. A ball is thrown vertically upwards from the top of a tower, 4.9 meter per second. It strikes the pond. So it is thrown from a top of a tower. So initial velocity is plus 4.9. G has to be taken as 9.8. Total time of flight is given. What is the height of the tower? Total time of flight is given. S is equal to ut plus half at square. You can apply this. U is plus 4.9. Time is 3 seconds. And the height of the tower, the displacement, since it is going from up to down, displacement will be minus h. Displacement will be minus h. Put the value at minus h, you will get the value of h. Yes or no? Yes or no? You all understand this? Yes or no? Question number 11, we have discussed it many times. It is falling under gravity. What is the ratio it travels in the first second and the third second? You can just put the formula of 1 second. We have done this in the class. In the first second, how much it moves. In the second, how much it moves. In the third second, how much it moves. I think the ratio is 1:3:5. Put the values. Distance, your displacement in the nth second. Remember the formula. U plus A by 2 into 2n minus 1. That I think was the formula. Put that formula in this equation and you will get your answer. Yes or no? We understand this? Can I have some raised hands? Okay. Now, this is question number 12. Same question. Body is thrown with a velocity u. It takes time t to take maximum height. So everything is given to you. Just apply s is equal to ut plus half at square, and you can get the answers. I think you have the entire questions with you. Now I'll give you 1 minute. Is there any question that you want me to discuss, or you can tell me the question number and we can discuss it? So is there any question that you want to discuss? Question number 15. Velocity the ball is projected, so the distance traveled in the 5th second. Again, we have to apply the formula for nth second and distance covered in the 6th second. So it's a simple formula application question, I think. Question number 16 is also formula application. Is there any question that you have any doubt? Anyone has any doubt in any question? Question number 17. A stone is shot straight upward with a velocity of 20 meters per second. Question number 10 we have already discussed. Karthik, what is wrong with question number 10? What is wrong with question number 10? Initial velocity is plus 4.9. Time of flight is 3 seconds. Distance traveled is minus h. You put the values, you will get the answer. G की value is 9.8 meter per second square. The question is this. It is thrown like this. This is the height that you are supposed to find. U is given as 4.9. So it is plus 4.9. Time is given as 3 seconds. It is going from A to B. That's it. From A to B, you apply equation. From A to B, U is plus 4.9. Acceleration is minus 9.8. Time is 3 seconds. Displacement S is minus h. Why it is minus? Because you are going from top to down. You put minus h is equal to plus 4.9 into t plus half into minus 9.8 into t squared, and you will get your answers. Okay, I hope you understand this. Got it? What else? What else do you want to discuss? Karthik, I hope you are clear now. Question number 23. Okay, Karthik, good. Question number 23. A ball thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity u reaches maximum height in 6 seconds. It reaches maximum height in 6 seconds, so you can find out it was thrown with a initial velocity of 60 meter per second. The ratio of distance traveled by the body in the first second and the 7 second. Simple, you have to apply the formula. Get the value of u, apply the formula and you will get the answer. What is the problem here, beta? What is the problem here? First second you apply the formula, 7 second you apply the formula, initial velocity u reaches maximum height in 6 seconds. You can find out the value of u, you know the value of u, you know the value of g, apply it in the formula and you will get your answer. Yes or no? Deepak? Okay. It's simple formula application, beta, nothing else. Simple formula application. From the first statement, you can find the value of u. It will be plus 60, 60. Then you apply it in the formula of distance travel in the first second, distance travel in the 7 second, and you are there with your answers. Okay? Okay? Anything else? Any more question that you want to do? Anything else that I can help you with? I'll again give you 5 minutes. Read the entire paper, and from now onwards, what will you do? After the exam, the paper will be sent to you. You go through all the questions, mark the question that you have not done. Sir, your audio and video is striking, sir. It's because Hannah, your network is bad. It is not striking, it is not stucking. Trust me. Is my video and audio striking? Is it not coming clear to everyone else? It's clear, Deepak. Hannah, problem with your side. As I told you, if you don't sit in a place where you don't get network, everything will strike. Everything will be like this. So please make sure that you have good network, beta. Okay, so what I was saying, sit in a place, beta, where you have good network. Yes, Hannah is left, so you'll come back again. And from the next week, once the paper is over, you will get this PDF with you. And I also give solutions. I think the solution would also be there in the PDF. Go through everything. Go through everything. Even if the solutions are not there, try them at home once. And then we will discuss. You write all your doubts, all your questions. 23 already we have already discussed. 23 we have discussed just now, beta. Initial velocity is u. It takes maximum height in 6 seconds. So from there you can find out the value of u. U is 6 seconds. U is 60 meter per second. Then you put the formula of distance traveled in the first second and distance traveled in the 7 second. Put the formula and get your answers. Nothing else. Nothing else. Am I clear? So you will get this PDF. Try the questions again. And then you can ask your doubts. Anything else? Any question that is troubling you again? Okay, I'll give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Go through the entire paper and see if there is anything else that I can help you with. I think I am having a doubt from Sinde Pawan Kalyan. Yes, Sinde, ask your doubt, beta. Shinde, where are you? Let me see you. Yes, beta. You can unmute yourself now, Shinde. You can ask me your doubts. Shinde Pawan Kalyan. What is the doubt, beta? You can unmute yourself now. Suman, beta, send a message on the other ID. Satya, not on this ID. I can't see this ID. Shinde, I think raised the hand wrongly. So I guess everything is clear to you. Don't worry, don't panic. You have the paper with you. You have the paper with you. Yes, Sumant, on this ID. You have the paper with you. Go through the entire paper once again. Try the questions on your own. If you can't do it, mark the questions. Ask me in the class. If you don't want to ask in the class, put your doubt in the Telegram group. Sir, with a snapshot, screenshot, put the doubt in the Telegram group. Sir, this question I did not understand. I will tell you. Okay, Anna, good. Even if you don't understand it now and you're not able to do the entire paper, don't panic, beta. I'm here. I'm not running anywhere. I'm here. We have too many days. We have 5 days for the next test. 5 days for the next test. Don't understand any question, don't panic. Take a screenshot, ask your doubt, and put it in the group. Don't send to me personally, beta, because if you so you cannot take snapshot in the app. Don't worry. Okay. Give me you can't send a snapshot in the app. Why? You have the PDF, you open the PDF in your mobile, take the snapshot of the PDF, it will save in your gallery and then put it in the group. I think you can do that. Okay. In the group means Telegram group I'm talking. I'm not talking about. Yes, I hope you understand this. If you can't take a screenshot, tell me the question number. Okay. Aram se. What I'll do is, I'll send you this PDF. I'll send you this PDF in the Telegram group. I'll put it right now. Okay, I got it. So your snapshot is not there in the app. Understand this. What I'll do is, I'll send you this PDF right now. After this class, I'll send you this PDF that I have with me of the questions. I'll send you this PDF. Go through this PDF. Try the questions. If you don't understand, ask me the question. If you can't take a snapshot, write the question number. Sir, question number 15. This is my doubt. If you can't take a snapshot, you can write the question with your hands. Sir, this is the question. This is the solution I am trying. This is what I have tried. Sir, please tell me what is wrong. And don't send me personal message. The problem with personal message is, if you are sending a personal message, only you and me are interacting. Not good. Now, if you put it in the group, other students may have the same doubt. So if one student asks one doubt, it will be clear for all the students. That is how teamwork works. Maybe question number 23, 3 people had doubts. Now, if you put that question in the group, I will clear all the doubts once. So so you don't have to ask it again and again. Sir, question number 23, I also. Sir, question number 23, I also. Will save some time. Are you getting me, everyone? Are you there with me? Please raise your hand, sir. We understand this. We have a doubt. We'll write the question and our solution and ask our doubt in the group so that it gets clear for everyone in the group. We have to think about all the students, not ourselves only, because you must understand that learning is also a team event. If you are learning together as a group, trust me, in my age, beta, 1996, 97, there were no coaching classes. Forget about online classes. There was no online, there was no mobile phone even. There was no classes. We never went anywhere. I never went to any sir, any teacher. I never had any teacher. I cleared JE on my own. How did I clear JE on my own? I am not extraordinary. No, I am not extraordinary. I had a group of friends. 5 friends we had. All of 5 are in ITs, and now they are CEOs of big companies in United States of America. The only one who is in India is me. The other 5 are gone out. We all used to study together. Late nights, early mornings, sleep in each other's houses. We had one room in each of our houses, 4 or 5 houses. We used to live close. One day we used to stay in one house, the other day in another house, eat, study together, clear our doubts together. If someone understands something, we used to always tell our friends, beta ye aise hoga, this is how it is done. And that is how we all cleared JE together. Learning is a team effort. So if you have a doubt, put it in the group so that all of us understand it, all of us are benefited from it. And if someone has a doubt, if a friend has a doubt, before the teacher, let me clear it. Sir, I think this is the answer. For example, let me say who is there. Maruti Satya has a doubt. He put, sir, this is my doubt. I am not able to say it. Anjali sees it. And Anjali says, Satya, look, I know. See, this is how it is done. What benefit it serves. Maruti Satya understand. Okay, Anjali knows it. Anjali is intelligent. I'll also study harder now so that I can clear doubt of Anjali once Anjali has a doubt. Anjali says, okay, now my doubt is also clear. I've cleared a doubt of Satya. I now understand the concept better. So it's basically helping everyone. Am I clear with this today's discussion? How we should proceed? The PDF will be there to you, will be given to you. Go through the PDF. Try all the questions again. Doubt, write the question, put it in the group, and wait for your answers. And any student who has done that question correctly, your first job, your first karma is to put the answer. Sir, this is how it is done. Satya, this is how it is done. Anjali, this is how it is done. Hannah, this is how it is done. Yashwant, everyone. Manasa, Shreya, Karthik, everyone. That's our prime responsibility that we should be doing this. I hope I made my point clear, and we will follow these simple things in life, because once you grow up in college, you don't have your parents, you don't have probably your teachers as well, you only have friends. And these friends are not for benefits. These friends are the friends who will remain with you throughout your life. Make friends, study with them, enjoy with them, move around with them, go to movies, everything. Friends are the most important things in your life. On that note, I will start today's lecture. No bad. Okay, I'll start today's lecture. And if you remember what we were doing in the last class, can you recollect? I have actually lost everything. What we were doing in the last class, because of the discussion, you see, I have short-term memory loss. Old fellow, I don't remember things. What were we doing in the last class? Anyone? Just recollect. Let me sit for a while. Okay. Can you recollect what we were doing in the last class? Problems for what, Karthik? Problems are there in everyone's life. What problems were we doing? I understand that we are doing some problems. Which problem were we doing? Okay. Questions on equation of trajectory. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes. There was a question that I gave you and most of you had done it incorrectly. Can you recollect that question? What was that question? Let me see it. It must be saved somewhere. Yesterday was 9th. I must have saved it somewhere. Motion in 2D, G. I got you as wrong, sir. Sir, I got you as wrong. I don't understand meaning of that. Okay, let me just go through the lecture. I mean, I have it saved, so I'll just see what was the question. Yes, the question was like this. Oh, great, Karthik. You are good at typing. I thought that you might not be able to type it. The question was this: y is equal to 15x minus 3x squared by 2. Yes, not minus tan inverse of 50. That was the question, beta. And you were supposed to find out the value of theta, the value of ux, u, and r. Okay. Yes, Konda. Yes, Ashwin. Now let us first find out the value of theta and r. So what will I do here is y is equal to 15x will be coming out. 1 minus 3x squared by 2 divided by 15x. This is how I write it. I cancel this, I cancel this, I cancel this, I cancel this 5 times. So I get y is equal to 15x 1 minus x divided by 10. That is what you will get. Can I have some raised hands? Or we got this? I think most of you got this. Almost all of you who gave your answers got this, right? Only 7 people got this. No, I had more than 7 people on the Telegram group yesterday. Sanjay, Sashank, Ashish, Venkatesh, Buragni, Dragon Pro, PFT, Tejasvi, Harshita, Surendra, Sai, Siri, Sindik, Pavan, Kalyan, Siddharth, Sai, Sarda, Reddy, are we there? Rakesh, Rajesh, Padmakan, Naidu, Ganesh, Dinesh, Jogeshwar, Sainath, Likita, Karthik, Vishwanath, Kevin, Josana, Jagdish, Chanu, Jatat, Charit, Manisa, you're all there, right? So we got up till here at least. Good one. So we got up till here. That means this thing becomes your tan theta. So your tan theta becomes 15. I think all of you almost got here. Great. And your range becomes 10. We got up till here as well. Then was the question, what is ux? Almost all of you did it wrongly. But to get the value of ux, we had to compare it with this equation. Y is equal to x tan theta minus gx squared by 2ux squared. I already know tan theta is 15. X squared and x squared compared. 3. Here is 3. Here is g. All of you have cancelled 3 with g, beta. How you can do that? You can't do it. So now I have 3 by 2 here, 3 by 2 here, and g by 2 ux squared here. G by 2 ux squared here. All of you have done the same mistake. All of you. Not even one fellow has done it correctly. All of you did the same mistake. 3 by 2. You have cancelled 3 with g. How is that possible? It's not possible. 2 and 2 stand cancelled. So my ux squared becomes g. G is 10. 10 divided by 3. 10 divided by 3 or g divided by 3. So my ux becomes root over 10 by 3. Am I clear? That is the value of ux. Am I clear? Can I have some raised hand? Yes, sir, you are clear. That is what we were supposed to get. And we made a small, stupid mistake. And remember, beta, these are the mistakes that get us in trouble. We know everything, but see, stupid mistake. And this, see, with one stupid mistake, you don't lose 1 mark, you lose 5 marks. I told you that again. Previous class also I told you, one mistake, you lose 5 marks. How do you lose 5 marks? 1 for negative and 4 for positive. So if you did this question wrong, you lost 5 marks. 5 marks is just too much to lose. You can't lose 5 marks on a stupid mistake like this. So ux is root over 10 by 3. Now, again you got caught. Ux is 10 by root over 10 by 3. Now, how do we get the value of cos theta? Because ux is u cos theta. U cos theta. So my u becomes root over 10 by 3 multiplied by 1 by cos theta. I have to get the value of cos theta. I have to get the value of cos theta. It's simple. You are maths guys. You know the value of tan theta. You know the value of tan theta. You should be able to get the value of cos theta. It's simple. It's simple. How do you get it? It's simple trigonometry, beta. Physics has got nothing to do. Physics is over here. As soon as I write this, physics is over. Physics has done its job. I told you, maths is the language of physics. If you are good in maths, good in physics. If you can't solve maths, done. Physics is done. So it's not physics problem. If you can't find the value of cos theta, it's not physics problem. No, it's maths problem. Tan theta is 15. You must have done this in 9th standard or 10th standard, wherever trigonometry comes. You know the value of tan theta, find out the value of cos theta. Tan theta is this. So tan square theta becomes 225. Do we agree on this? Square. 15 square, I think, is 225. Yes or no? Yes. 1 plus tan square theta. 1 plus tan square theta becomes my sec square theta. And sec square theta becomes 226. Yes or no? Are we in agreement? Sec square theta becomes 226. So sec theta becomes root over 226. And sec theta is 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta is root over 226. See here, I need the value of 1 by cos theta. 1 by cos theta I need. It is root over 226. So my value of u becomes root over 10 by 3 into root over 226. That is the answer for ux and u. Are we there on the same planet, in the same universe? This is a good universe. Tan square theta plus 1 becomes sec square theta. In other universes, it might not be the case. This is a good universe to live in. Are we all there? I only have 13 participants raising their hands. Not good enough. Not good enough. The number is raising up. So we're coming back to the same universe through a portal that has been created now. The portal created in the physics class that is bringing us back to this universe. Welcome to this universe. Universe number 101 according to Marvel Universe. I hope you all read Marvel comics. Marvel Universe. Universe number 101. They have universes. They have names of universes. If you have seen this series Flash and all those things, I think it's in Marvel. Which comic? Whatever comics it is, doesn't matter. They have Superwoman. This is in DC comics probably. They have They have Superwoman and different universes, and things are happening on different universes. Batman is getting killed and Superman is getting killed. Anyway, welcome to our universe. We'll call it Universe 101. We are back in Universe 101. Do we understand this question now, everyone? Universe 101. Okay. So all the participants of Universe 101, here comes the next one in this line. Let us all remain in the same universe and solve this one, question number 2, because the previous one was question number 1. Y is equal to minus 5x squared by 2. Now this is the equation of trajectory of a particle. You have to find the value of theta, ux, u, and r. Let us say r also. How will you get this? Let us not think about R now because R might get you confused. Let us take out R. What is the value of theta, ux, and u? Everyone on the universe 101. The question is there. In this universe, what are the laws of this universe? S is equal to ut plus half at square. Valid here. G is minus 9.8. Minus because it is downwards. We are in the same universe. Batman and Superman are still alive. Iron Man is dead. Doesn't matter. He'll come back in some other form. Yes. Waiting for your answers. Let me have a sip of water. And let me just go. Let me just have a minute walk. Feeling of it. Oh, yeah, I'm back. Anyone got an answer for this one? No one. Are we still in the same universe? We have taken the portal back and got into our universes, universe 1, 0, 2, and 3, and 5. Anil, Maruti, Venu, Anjali, Arpit, Harsha, Manasa, Shreya, Karthik. We're all there in the same universe, no? I hope I am audible and visible to everyone. Surendranath has raised his hand. Suren? Yes, same universe. Good one. Welcome back to the universe. Universe number 101. Anyone with an answer? I've got 3 raised hands. Manasa, okay. Attendance on the universe. Theta is 45 degrees. Hanak. Probably his physically Hanak is there in this universe, but mentally he has gone somewhere in some other universe where he sees that theta is 45 degrees. Hanak, it might be possible in some other universe, beta, but not in this universe. In this universe, theta is not 45 degrees according to this equation because it violates the laws of physics in this one. So let's try again. Let's try again. Answers don't matter. What matters is the spirit in which we are solving the question. That is the only thing that matters. That is the only thing that matters. The spirit that we have to solve the question. That is the only thing that matters. Anyone with an answer? Okay, let me help you out. I think everyone is getting puzzled. Why is everyone getting puzzled? Everyone is getting puzzled because the original equation that I have was like this. Y is equal to x tan theta minus gx squared by 2 times ux squared. That was the original equation that I was having. Everything was good till this question. Because in this question now, we don't have x. Oh, don't have x. Where did x go? Again, it took some portal and went to some other universe through a black hole or through a wormhole. No, it did not go anywhere. It became 0. That's why it disappeared. It became 0. That's why it disappeared. How can x become 0? X cannot be 0. X is the x coordinate. The particle must be moving. It must be having some x coordinate at some point, some y coordinate at some point. That is the equation of trajectory, sir. How can x disappear? How can x become 0? Tell me, how can x become 0? The only way x can become 0 is by tan theta becoming 0. By tan theta becoming 0. Reddy is saying the same thing in a different way. Tan theta becoming 0, that means if tan theta becomes 0, that means my angle of projection becomes 0. Now you will say, sir, how is that possible, sir? No, not possible. If I throw something at 0 angle along ground, it does not become a projectile. It is no longer a projectile. Yes, you are correct. But this is the equation of a projectile because this is the equation of a parabola. Y square is equal to 4x or x square is equal to 4ay is the equation of a parabola. Now, if it is moving along ground, how it is parabola? No, it is not moving around ground. Yes, it is thrown at an angle 0, but it is not moving on ground. Then how we have thrown this? That is the first question. How is angle 0? How is this possible? That angle is 0, angle of projection is 0, still it is a projectile. Cannot be a projectile. Yes, it is a projectile. And we will understand this. First, let us solve this question. How is this a projectile? We'll understand this. But let's first solve this question. So now we understand that the angle of projection is 0, tan theta is 0, so theta becomes 0. Now I will compare the other terms. Yes, Reddy, that is the correct. I will not say what you have said. I'll keep it as suspense. You know, suspense serial. So I'll keep it as a suspense. Okay, so theta is 0. Now I'll compare the rest of the terms. X square compare. X square compare. So I have on the left hand side, on the top side, I have 5 by 2. And here I have G. G is 10. So let us write 10 by 2 ux squared. I am comparing it correctly. 2 say 2 goes away. And my ux squared becomes 2. That means my ux becomes root 2. I will not take the negative value. Remember, this is a quadratic equation because it is a squared equation. A squared equation is quadratic. Quadratic equation will always give me 2 roots. I am not taking the negative root because u is speed. We're talking about magnitudes. It cannot be negative. So ux is root 2. Yes, Karthik. And since angle is 0, cos of 0 is not 0. Cos of 0 is 1. Cos of 0 is 1. And hence my u, the velocity of projection, also becomes root 2. Now, can I ask all of you, what have you understood this before going on to that question? You have to understand that x has gone here. That means tan theta is 0. That means your angle of projection is 0. Cos of 0 is 1. We compare the rest of the terms. We get ux as root 2 and u also as root 2. Am I clear? Can I now have raised hand that we have understood this question? Only 2 people have raised hand. That's not good enough. Shashank, Josana, Ashish, Venkat, Burgani, Tarun, Harshita, Swati, Surendra, Sai, Sinde, Praveen, Sai, Sarda, Praveen, Pranay, Padmakan, Ganesh, Yogeshwar, Likita, Kevin, Karthik, Jagdish, Teja, where are you, beta? I did not see you today. Suman, Santosh, Charit, Manasa, Harsha, Venu, Maruti. Okay, anyone is there. Now coming to the question. How is it possible? Angle is 0. Angle is 0. How is this thing possible? What is possible? If angle is 0, I hope you can see this. If angle is 0, how is this a projectile? Now, can anyone enlighten me on this? If angle is 0, how this can be a projectile? Someone gave me the answer. It is flying in air parallel to ground. It will not parallel to the ground, Hannah. Not exactly parallel to the ground, but your answer is partly, almost 90% correct, not partly, almost 90% correct. How is this possible? Why is this? Why and how this is a projectile? Someone gave me the answer. I forgot the name, beta. I'll just check from the chat. Who was he? Reddy Yashwant. Yes, Reddy. Now I am opening the suspense. Now I am disclosing the suspense. Magic trick. So the case here is that I'm not throwing it from ground. I am getting it to some height. H. And then how I am throwing it? Then I am throwing it parallel to ground. Then I am throwing it parallel to the ground. Now, if I do it this way, what happens? Hanak told me that it flies parallel to ground. No, Hanak, it does not fly parallel to ground. It starts parallel to ground, but it will fall like this. It will fall like this. And you are getting the equation of this parabola. Am I clear? Do we understand this? What is happening here? In this case, when angle is 0, I am definitely not throwing it from ground. I am taking it to a height, and then I am throwing it parallel to ground. It starts parallel, but it falls like this. Starts parallel, but it falls like this. Yeah, you don't have to go to a tower. Actually, you have some height. So when you are throwing a ball parallel like this, or you are throwing a dart, you throw a dart parallel to ground like this, it actually bends. Actually bends. You've seen movies, Hollywood movies, when someone is shooting, he keeps the gun like this. The bullet goes parallel, but in originality, if you see, the bullet follows the path of a parabola. The bullet will always follow the path of a parabola. And that is horizontal projection. Now, this type of projectile, which is thrown like this, is known as horizontal projectile. Am I clear with everyone? This type of projectile that we see here is known as horizontal projectile. Projectile which is thrown horizontally is known as horizontal projectile. So now I have three different types of projectile that I see. The first one that we saw in this chapter, or let us say the first one was vertical projectile. The first one was vertical projectile. What was this vertical projectile? This was ground, and I thrown something vertically up at an angle of 90 degrees. You can call that now as vertical projectile. It was a simple case of motion in a straight line. Do we remember this motion in a straight line, motion under gravity? In fact, all the questions that you had in this test, almost all of them were motion under projectile, motion in a straight line, motion under gravity. Yes or no? It was given for a specific reason so that you remember that we had done this in motion in a straight line. So you can now call this projectile as a vertical projectile, projectile which is thrown at an angle of 90 degrees. The second type of projectile that we did in the beginning of this chapter was given the name oblique projectile. Do you remember oblique projectile? This was ground, and we throw something at an angle u, and it goes like this. So this becomes an oblique projectile. What is the equation of trajectory, or what is the path that this follows? This follows the path of a parabola. Am I clear? Am I clear? This is what we were discussing up till now. What is remaining is something which is known as horizontal projectile. Something which is known as horizontal projectile. And to understand this, how I'm going to throw this, I'll have to get to some height h. I'll have to get to some height h. And then I will be throwing, this is ground, this is parallel to ground. I'll be throwing something parallel to the ground like this, going to fall like this. What type of trajectory it is going to follow? Anyone? What type of trajectory is this ball? Yes, Deepak, it is also going to be a parabola. It is also going to be a parabola. We will call this projection as horizontal projection or horizontal projectile. Am I clear with this? Discussion around horizontal projectile. This is how we have to start with horizontal projectile. Am I clear? Okay. So now we begin our discussion on horizontal projectile. We'll not be able to cover this, so we'll just have a brief introduction and we'll cover the rest of the things in the next class. So in a horizontal projectile, what will happen? We'll definitely have ground. So this is my ground. I will get this to a height h and I will throw it horizontally with an initial velocity u. Right? So it will fall like this. What are the known quantities? What are the known quantities that we know? In most of the cases, what are the known quantities? What are the known quantities that we will know in the question? You will know the value of h. Well done, Hannah. What else? You'll also know the value of u, the velocity of projection. You'll also probably know the value of h in most of the question. And you definitely know the value of g. So these are the three known quantities that you have. Let us talk about the unknown ones. What will be the unknown ones? The first unknown one will be the time of flight, t. Just one. Time of flight, t. Unknown. 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 Time of flight, t. And the second one is this distance it travels along x. You can call it x or you can call it the horizontal range. Horizontal range. So these will be the two unknown quantities that we would be trying to find out in the next class. I'll give you a chance as an homework to try and get the value of t and r if you can do it. How will you do it? You don't have a magic wand. The only thing that we know are equations of motion. We'll apply those equations of motion and we'll try to get the value of t and r, which are the unknowns in terms of the known quantities, which are h, u, and g. Am I clear? Do you have any idea? You must have heard about satellites. Do you have any idea how satellites are launched? Any idea about how satellites are launched? Anyone? No, sir. Satellites are launched in the same way. They are rockets. We launched them from Sriharikota. Rockets. Rockets take the satellites up into atmosphere, 40, 50, 60 kilometers above Earth. They take it. And then what do you do? They simply project them with a velocity. Shoo. Then you will say, sir, this will fall back on ground. No, it keeps on circling Earth. Beauty of physics. We'll read all about these satellites and how they are projected and how they follow this path, circular ellipse, in a chapter known as gravitation. So we'll be doing all this in gravitation. Right now, we're only going to do horizontal projectile. In the next class, I wind up here on this note that we'll be doing horizontal projectile in the next class. If you have any doubts, you can come up with those. Yes, but the remaining part of the rocket, it sometimes falls back on Earth, or sometimes it just keeps on circling around. There is a lot of wastage that is circling the Earth right now. Lots of wastage. There was one Chinese satellite that was destroyed in air. It is still circling around Earth. Still, lot of, we call it Earth. We call it space wastage. Lot of space wastage is moving around Earth, and sometimes it will fall, but because of atmosphere, it will burn back. Okay. So am I clear with this? We'll meet in the next class and we'll discuss horizontal projectile. Till then, stay safe and stay happy. We'll meet in the next class.